Hi, ladies, it's Mr. O'Sullivan. Sorry for the sirens in the background. I'm recording this from home and not at work. And if you look at the top of the screen, it's 8 at night, so there's a lot of sirens at night. Today's learning target is I can solve an equation by using the PCVNA technique. So this is our final day of solving equations. At this point, we should be pretty close to mastery, if not mastering how to solve an equation, since equations play a crucial role in this class and all other maths that you take. So the first step of the P, C, V, and A stage is parentheses, which we get rid of by distributing. Do you have parentheses? How do you get rid of them? The C stands for combine your like terms, one part of the equal signs at a time. The questions you have to ask yourself are, do you have numbers you can combine? Do you have variables can combine? So like for instance, when I'm talking about this, I mean x plus x is 2x, whereas x plus 3, that's a no-go. You can't combine those. Variables are on the left-hand side. You can put them on the right. You decide. Just know that your numbers have to go on the other. And then A stands for the attached number to your x you get rid of by dividing. So like basically you're just dividing always in the very end. So if we look right here, we have a model problem that says solve the following equation for k. And if we look, we have 38 plus 7k equals 8 times k plus 4. We have to ask ourselves if we have parentheses, and we do. So to get rid of these parentheses, we distributed our 8 to our k and our 8 to our 4 to get 8k plus 32. We then combined our like terms, can't combine a 30 and a 7k, can't combine an 8k and a 32, so we skipped that step. But we still got to check it off, because it's basically like telling us, don't skip that step, mister. The V stands for variables on, just making sure my do not disturb is on, that way I don't get any calls. Variables are on one side, so like it would have made more sense to remove my 7k instead of my 8k, but just for the purpose, subtract 8k, subtract 8k. 7k minus 8k is, what is it called? 1 second. 7k minus 8k, negative 1k. So I have 38 minus 1k equals 32. I then need to get rid of those numbers, so that 38, I subtracted 38, and then I got negative 1k equals negative 6. Now remember, whenever you get negative 1 in front of your variable, please write that negative 1, that way you do not forget. Now, we divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1, and we get k. Ooh, it's not equal to 6. K is equal to 1. It's k is equal to 6. And that's your final answer. So I made a little hiccup. No big deal, though. Now, for each of the following, we're going to solve each of the following equations using the PCVNA technique to help us with each of the problems. So let's write down the step. PCVNA. The first thing I have to ask myself is, do I have parentheses? I don't. Can I combine 10 minus 4x? Nope. What about 7x minus 23? Nope. Are all my variables are on one side? Nope. So I'm going to subtract 7x from both sides of my equation. My 7x's cancel, so I'm left with 10. Negative 4 minus 7 is a negative 11x, and that's equal to negative 23. So now my variables are on one side. Now I need to get all my numbers on the other, so I need to get this 10 to the right-hand side. If you look, it's positive, so I'm just going to subtract 10 from both sides of my equation. So I'm left with negative 11x equals negative 23 minus 10 is negative 33. Then, last but not least, you have to figure out, what do? You've got to divide. So I'm going to divide both sides of my equation by negative 11, and I get x is equal to 3. And that's my final answer. Number 2. Number 2 is like a type of equation you would see much more often in geometry and algebra 2. We don't really see it as much in our class, but I will give you one every now and then just to, throw up a curveball. First thing we do, PCVNA. And if I look, I do have parentheses. I have parentheses right here. But to the left of them, I have a minus sign. So what we're really doing is we are distributing that minus sign to the 2w and to the 4. So when I rewrite this, I have 6w. This negative being distributed by 2w makes it a minus 2w. And then my minus being distributed to a positive 4 makes it a minus 4. And this is all equal to 4. I now no longer have any parentheses. I ask myself, can I combine like terms? So I look at this side only, and I try to combine. What can I combine with my 6w minus 2w? What is 6w minus 2w? It's 4w. So I'm left with 4w minus 4 equals 4. Now, some of you might say, why can't I combine the minus 4 and the 4? Well, if you look, there's a wall separating them. There's that equal sign. So they can't be combined. The V stands for all variables on one side, and DD they are. N stands for numbers. Are my numbers on the other side? Nope, they aren't. I got to get this minus 4 to the right, so I'm going to add 4 to both sides of my equation. Get 4w equals 8. And then last but not least, you divide by 4. And I get w is equal to 2. And that's my final answer. Okay, these might take up a little more room, so I'm going to actually just screenshot them. I'm going to cheat. You guys can't. Shh, don't tell anyone. I'm going to put them right here. Good. So we're going to write the PCVNA technique for these two problems. PCVNA. The first thing we have to ask ourselves is, do we have parentheses? Yes, I do. So I got to do some distribution. 4 times 1, 4 times a minus x. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times a negative x is a minus 4x. Then I add 3x, and that's equal to, distribute your negative 2 to x, so negative 2x, and negative 2 to positive 1, giving me a minus 2. No more parentheses, cross out that P. You know me, I love crossing things out. C stands for combine like terms. So in this box, what can I combine? You can combine something. What do you think? Very good. I can combine my negative 4x with my 3x. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Negative 4x plus 3x is negative 1x. So I have 4 minus 1x equals, and I have to ask myself, negative 2x minus 2. I can't combine it. And now this sort of looks like the equations we've been solving the past few days. So, like terms are combined. Are my variables on one side? They're not. So I need to get this minus 2x to the left-hand side. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides of my equation. And I get 4. Negative 1x plus 2x is a good old 1x. So I have plus x. You don't have to write 1x. You can just write x. And that's equal to negative 2. Variables are on one side. Now I need to get my numbers on the other. So the only way to get rid of that 4 is to subtract 4. So I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. God, I love equations. And I get x is equal to negative 6. And that's my final answer. Okay, let's have fun with this one. This one looks fun. So I have PCVNA. I have negative 2 times 6x plus 14. Minus 2x equals 3 times 2 plus x. Do I have parentheses? Yes, I do. I distribute to each term. So negative 2 times 6x is negative 12x. One sec, my Apple Pencil's acting up. Negative 2 times 14 is a minus 28. I then have my minus 2x, and that's equal to, distribute your 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times x is 3x. Now my parentheses are gone. They're gone. Can I combine like terms, one side at a time? So look at that left side of your equal. What can I combine here? I can combine negative 12x with negative 2x. Negative 12x minus 2x is not negative 10x. It's negative 14x. So I have negative 14x. Let me take off my pencil for 1 second. 1 second. So I have negative 14x minus 28. Ooh, much better. It's cleaning. Can I combine 6 and 3x? Nope. So I just write 6 plus 3x. Now combined are done. Are my variables on one side? They're not. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides of my equation. Notice I'm not doing minus 3x under here. I'm putting it... Notice I don't put my minus 3x under my negative 28. I make sure that when I move it here, I'm going to put it right under my negative 14x because these are like terms. Notice they both have an x. So negative 14 minus 3 gives me a negative 17. So I have negative 17x minus 28. What is going on? My pencil is going crazy. Equals 6. Now my variables are gone. So now I have to move my numbers. So I'm going to add 28 to both sides of my equation. So I get negative 17x equals, I think 28 plus 6 gives me a good old 34. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides of my equation by negative 17. When I divide, I get x is equal to negative 2. And that's your final answer. So that's our last day of solving equations. If you have any questions, give myself or Miss Townsend an email. Have a great day.